This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 20. Moreover, the Lord thy power will send the hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 20, is that today at the plantation, I saw on the news that in Panama, 150 people were attacked by killer bees. All right, during the what they called the Easter weekend. All right, so I was like, "Yup, that's judgment." All right. Now the reason why I brought out Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 20, in context, you know, the killer bees, the hornets, those creatures, those insects, all right, are sent, all right, to punish the heathen, are sent to these nations, to our enemies, all right? And when you read it in context, that was what the Lord was saying to us. Don't be afraid of these nations, all right? You saw what I did to Pharaoh, okay? All right, remember. And then, of course, right after, he's like, look, these other nations, okay, outside Egypt, they can get it too. I'll send the hornet on them, all right? Basically, the Lord was letting us know that he's going to defend us, all right, by sending a hornet on these heathens, our enemies, all right, that come against us. However, we have a lot of our people who want to be a heathen, who want to be, okay, like these other nations, who still want to hold on to plantation Christianity, all right, which was taught to you by the enemy, okay, all right. Where does plantation Christianity come from? I mean, we say it, plantation. It comes from the Renaissance period when these devils, okay, push this, okay, Caucasian, what's it called? Devil, pale skinned devil onto our people, especially you Northern Kingdom, you Latin tribes, all right? There's not a day goes by where the bulk of you can't, you got Chezzy on the brain, okay? So, you just type in this, right? Just type this in, and who do you see? All right? Chezzy on the brain, okay? And this is Edomite supremacy, all right? You push images, and this is all you see. You press the image button after typing Jesus Christ, and this is all you see. This is ridiculous. So that's why the Lord sent them hornets, these killer bees on you, because you're moving like a heathen, all right? You're moving like a heathen. You're basically wearing that strange apparel. When you go to the word strange, okay? Strange apparel, because this is why the Lord said it the way he said it. Let's see what he said right here. Yeah, day of judgment on Judah. So this is clearly referring to our people, okay? The Israelites. Yeah, Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such are clothed with strange apparel. There you go. That's strange apparel, man. Okay? On that day of judgment, says the Lord, I will punish the leaders and princes of Judah and all those following pagan customs. Right, and plantation Christian is a pagan custom. Okay? Christianity. Plantation Christianity is a pagan custom. Okay? You go to this word strange. All right? It should be Nakar. Yep, there it is. Nakar. All right? Foreign. Right. Foreign. Okay? Moving like a heathen. You're a foreigner. So the Lord got to spank you like a heathen, sending these killer bees. All right? Because this is all paganism. Even when you read it, look what they were doing. It says the swarm happened during the Via Crucis religious procession, known in English as the Stations of the Cross ceremony, which is often held on Good Friday to represent, it says Jesus, but that's not his name, Yahushua's journey to the crucifixion. So you already know what went down. You had some bugged out Jake dressing up, like Cesare Borgia, like this, holding a cross, wearing wearing a diaper, okay? So the Lord got fed up, all right? And he started attacking them, okay? In fact, he attacked the priest. According to a local outlet, Destino, Panama, among those injured was the priest who led the religious event. The local fire department said, there you go. Okay, so he tagged up the leadership. And that's why, this is why you should fear the Lord, all you leaders out there. Okay? You should fear the Lord because the Lord gonna get you too. Okay? So yeah. The scriptures say, woe be to the pastor. Ooh, I got to get that one. Jeremiah chapter 23, because this came to my mind. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right. Okay. So the Lord, the leadership ain't exempt. And this is facts. This is proof. See, this is what we do here at Great Millstone through the Spirit Power Yahweh Shem Shai. We present facts. And I love using current events because how do you explain this? How do you explain killer bees attacking a congregation? All right? Through the scriptures. And it shows that plantation Christianity cannot be the way just by this alone. Okay? All right? And this should scare you pseudo-Hebrew Israelites. All right? That are teaching wayward doctrines, all right? Because the Lord going to send killer bees on y'all, all right? He can easily do that, all right? Because you moving, okay, incorrectly. 2, therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them, right? Because the truth is out now. Everybody heard about the Hebrew Israelites, even in Panama, okay? Even in Panama. All right? Now they just being rebellious. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord, you see? Okay? 3, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries where I have driven them. Right. So the Lord gonna get his people, the elect of Israel, the Israelites, wherever they be scattered at, okay? And the bulk of the Israelites are scattered over here in the Western Hemisphere. All right? So this proves that Yahushua has to come and get us wherever we be scattered at. And the great deliverance is going to be out of America, Babylon the Great. All facts. Okay? And I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. That's right. You see that? Okay? So yeah. They were celebrating Easter, right? Well, in the book of Acts chapter 12, I got to bring this out. That was another thing I want to bring out. The book of Acts chapter 12. It speaks on what Easter is, and that's the Passover. So they were totally off. So let me read this. I'll start at the top just to get context. Peter's arrest and deliverance. Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now about the time Herod the king, right, and Herod the king is an Idumean, all right? He's an Edomite, all right? His father, or his lineage goes to the Antipaters, all right? In fact, let me show you something here. I'm going to fact check this. All right. Was King was King Herod an Idumean? Was King Herod gay? Yeah, he was. He was an Edomite. Okay, they all are. Yes. So I asked, was King Herod an Idumean? Yes. Herod the Great was an Idumean descendant on his father's side. Now, why would AI over you write it like that? because they know that in order to determine your lineage is based upon your father. You see that? Even the AR over you got the breakdown. Okay? Hey, the scriptures say knowledge shall increase. That's why there's no excuses for our people. A lot of people going to drop, man. The Lord's going to bring a lot of judgment to our people. All right? You think it's bad? You haven't seen it worse. Gas price is going to keep going up. All right? And it's going to affect every country. When oil prices go up, it affects the whole world. That Strait Hormuz is affecting the whole world. And this is the Lord's judgment. So it's all exciting, man. The Lord is bringing judgment. A fact often highlighted by his critics to undermine his legitimacy, right? Because he wasn't a real Jew. All right? His father, Antipater, there we go, was an Idumean. And his mother, Kypros, okay, or Cypros, was a Nabatean princess. While Herod was raised in the Israelite faith, his heritage meant he was considered a half-Jew by many of his subjects. There's no such thing as a half-Jew. You either born a Jew through your father or you're not. There's no such thing as half, okay? But this is that confusion, all right? And the reason why Herod, okay, took on the Israelite faith or Israelite custom was by John Hyrcanus. Well, there it is. Look, it's right here. Man, knowledge shall increase. Do you know? See, this is why you got to respect our apostles and elders. All right? This is why you got to respect our apostle elders. This information wasn't at their fingertips. They had to go to the library, okay? And do hours and hours of studying, okay? Okay, or hours of studying. Hours of researching, all right, this information, all right, to bring it to the forefront for edification, okay? Now, we got the internet, the World Wide Web. There's no excuses. That's why the bulk of our people are going to get the judgment that they deserve. Because in 2026, I'll give you a testimony. In 2026, I have neighbors that are still celebrating Easter with rabbits and looking for Easter eggs. 2026. And guess what tribe they're from? Nope, not Northern Kingdom. Southern Kingdom, from the tribe of Levi. You can't make this up. I know. And I was very surprised. I'm like, damn, Levites doing this in 2026? So-called Haitians? Okay? Yeah, that's why the Lord gonna get a whole bunch of our people. They're gonna get bees on them like this. Okay? Even here in America. Them Hornets are coming here in America too. Hey, we still in the beginning of spring. Okay? There's a lot of critters that are waking up for the purpose of the Lord to fulfill judgment, because the scriptures say, you know what, real quickly, drop that. Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? Who made the spirits created for vengeance? The Most High. All right? The Father of spirits, Yahweh, who the world inly calls God. 29. Fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents and the sword punishing the wicked destruction. Plain. Okay? So, again, all right? You ain't seen nothing yet. Yet, these jakes in Panama, they getting their ass whooping because they moving like heathens. They want to be a heathen, so the Lord going to treat them like a heathen. You want to wear that strange apparel? You want to be into idolatry and paganism? Okay, which confirms that you're moving like a heathen. You don't want to be an Israelite? Well, you're going to get judged like a heathen. And that's just what it is. It's facts. So let's go back to Acts just to edify the point on what Easter is if you looked up the word. Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now, about the time Herod the king, an Idumean Edomite, all right, who he took on the customs of our culture because John Hyrcanus put a decree out. So he told, all right, the lineage, all right, and what was it, Antipater, from the, that line, those Idumeans, hey, look, y'all need to learn our customs or else. And so that's what happened. Stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. The church represents the Israelites. The church represents the Israelites. The church has always been the people. Oh man, see, again, because you see this word church, because people don't look, okay, into the context or the understanding of that time of what a church was, they think it's some building. No, it's not. Let me show you something right here. We're going to go to the book of Acts chapter 7. All right? Check this out. All right? Just get to the point. All right? And repetition is the father of skills. All right? And again, we learned this from our apostle elders, because our apostle elders always showed us, like, you gotta go into precept line upon line, here a little, there a little, okay? And you gotta understand words and understand context and meanings. So let me show you, all right, what church is. All right. Yep, here it is. Acts chapter 7, verse 37. This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall you hear. Right? It's talking about the Messiah, Yahweh, who the world only calls Jesus. 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel. Oh, the church in the wilderness with the angel. Who is the church? It's talking about Israelites. You see? All right? So that's a cut. So this is not talking about a building, okay? A brick and mortar, okay? With the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles, meaning the prophecies, to give unto us. Right. So there you go. And who's speaking? This is Stephen, and also an Israelite, okay, who's talking to other Israelites, okay, a lot of unbelieving Israelites, okay, who wanted, and then he got stoned, all right. But that was for the purpose, all right, of his testimony, all right. So yeah, that's a fact check right there. We see, this is what we do. We fact check everything. All right. Vex certain of the church. So now we know the church is the people, and this is pertaining to the Israelites. 2. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. 3. And because he saw it pleased, all right, the Jews, right. And let me quantify this. This church is talking about the believers in Yahweh Shai. One more time. This church is talking about the believers in Yahweh Shai, who are Israelites. 3. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And we are in the days of unleavened bread. Okay? All right? We're in the days of unleavened bread. All right? Bear me one moment. Yeah. What's going on? I'm in the middle of a lesson. What's going on? Oh, okay. No, it's no problem. It's good. Just come home when you get home. What's up? Is everything good? All right. So you want to get something? Get something. Um, just when you go to make it easy. Go to CR. Yeah, well, yeah. Just go to CR Chicks and then get the half chicken. You know. So what do you want? Yeah, fish or steak. Perfect. All right. Thank you, love. Bye. 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 Love you, brother. All right. My bad. My wife is. She got to work late, so yeah, she's picking up food, and she knows that it's the days of unleavened bread, so we can't have yeast. So I just told her to get steak and potatoes, man, or get fish. But yeah, so all right, she was supposed to cook, but she got to work late. All right, but yeah, Lord willing, man. Okay, we this working shit ends, man. I'm tired of this shit. Work is just annoying. But anyway, so verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. You see that? So now when you go to the NLT, then he imprisoned him, placing him under the guard of 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. All right? So 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. All right, everybody, they were guarding Peter. Okay? Herod intending, to bring Peter out for public trial after the Passover, right? Okay, so there you go. All right, so the Passover. So you think that they took heed to that? No. They're like Easter, Easter. So that's why you got the bees, the hornets, the killer bees, these hornet type bees. And I'll bring this out to Matthew chapter 24, verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, right? And that's why you got 150 people got lit up, because again, they got deceived by this false prophet, and that's why they got judged too. Okay, so Lord willing us edifying. I just want to edify that. Hey, look, man, you move like a heathen, you get treated like a heathen. This is to our people, all right? Because Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 20 is supposed to be a judgment to these heathens that come against us, all right? But you're not acknowledging that. You're not acknowledging that you're an Israelite. You're still acting as a heathen. And so the Lord going to treat you as such. So with that, I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it there. Keep the faith. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. To the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray at your head cover. Shalom. We're almost out of here. Shalom.